Welcome back to Hannity. So President Trump has called the special counsel investigation of the Russia collusion story the single greatest witch hunt in American political history. Robert Mueller remains special counsel despite he and his team having massive conflicts of interest, like Mueller's close relationship with former FBI Director James Comey and the fact that 3 members of his team donated to Democrats. Oh, and by the way, they even hired, yes, one of Hillary Clinton's lawyers. We've been saying on this program it's time for him to recuse himself. Joining us now with reaction from the American Conservative Union, Matt Schlapp, and from the New York Civil Rights Coalition, Mike Myers. You know, Mike, we've been friends a long time. You call yourself a liberal. You're not a liberal.
I am a liberal.
You're not a liberal. You're not.
I'm a classical liberal who believes in justice, due process, fairness, and the elected President of the United States. The people decided the election. The resistance movement has organized now to make sure he goes out by any means necessary. This is a resistance movement. And what shocks me is that the government, because we have so far failed to drain the swamp, and the swamp is fighting back, the government itself is now leaking. The government itself is now become the surveillance state. Liberals like me used to be opposed to the surveillance state. We used to believe in privacy and individual rights.
So you're like with Alan Dershowitz.
Where is the ACLU? I tell you what the ACLU is. They are on the side of the Trump resistance movement. They are not any longer nonpartisan.
And not caring about civil liberties, and not caring about the Constitution, not caring about the Fourth Amendment protections that we have against unreasonable search and seizure.
If they cared, they would have said something by now. They are raising millions of dollars opposed to Trump, the Trump resistance movement. That's their literature, not my rhetoric.
You know, there's just a few, Matt, like Mike Myers. And Alan Dershowitz, he and I didn't get along a lot over the years, but he's been so dead on, factually, legally accurate in all of this. Where are the rest of where are liberals like Mike and Dershowitz?
Well, remember, Sean, when you take on the swamp, when you take on the elitists, when you take on all the people that have been running things for decades, they fight back. And Donald Trump is a victim of that. Even Republican lawyers are afraid to step in where they see these great abuses because they know Jim Comey's going to play a big role in the D.C. bar. So, I mean, what you have is a lot of conflicted people. And the fact is, as you know, is that we have seen zero evidence of any collusion. And people like Alan Dershowitz have made it very clear. And the Republican lawyers I have talked to who served President Bush have said there's no obstruction of justice here.
But they're not. That side is not conflicted. We are at war. In the civil rights movement, we used to have a saying. It is time to choose. Which side are you on? So we're at war. We have to fight for our national identity. We have to fight for our culture. And the 2016 election, presidential election, was our last chance to save the nation, our last chance to save the culture, and therefore we can't be conflicted. We've got to fight
Last word,
back.
Matt.
That's right. And the other thing, Sean, the Department of Justice needs to put a counsel on Hillary Clinton because where the Trump investigation is going, there's no evidence of collusion. They're going to go to inappropriate contact, what they're going to call inappropriate between DOJ and FBI and the White House. Guess what? That's exactly what we had with Loretta Lynch and President Obama, Hillary Clinton, and the other people in that cabal, and they need to put a counsel on that immediately. Let's get on offense, and let's find out where the real crimes occur.
It's time to fire some people in this swamp. The nerve of them now. All of a sudden, they want Trump's taxes because he won't lease them. And that becomes the agenda of the special counsel? Are they nuts?
Well said. All right, guys, thank you both. Wow. As we continue on this breaking Friday news edition of Hannity.
Look at Twitter. If I were shot and killed tomorrow, half of Twitter would explode in applause and excitement. This is the world we live in now.
Kellyanne Conway explaining just how vicious the left-wing hate has become in the country. Patrick J. Buchanan joins us with a history of left-wing hate. That's next.